Welcome to the Pink Milk Show. Your characters is Tommy and Brian and Mike. The winners is Tyler Wen, Boba Fett, and the Emperor. There.
Hello there, and welcome to Pink Milk, your Star Wars podcast for us super fans.
And us forced to listen to them.
Today, my social media silence has been broken, and today, I realize the Force is alive on Twitter, and it ain't happy. Get ready, because it's time to drink up! Hello, Pop Pop.
Hello, Brian. I'm shaking it up today.
I guess so.
How are you today? Let me ask you first.
Well, I'm about to go see number 3, so I'm pretty good.
Number 3? Explain what that means.
I'm going to go see The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, for the third time.
For the third time.
Yes.
I'm leaving here in about 30 minutes. So part 1 will be pre number 3. Part 2 will be post number 3. The boys sounded cute on the mic, but they delayed us recording our podcast.
Yeah. Thanks, kids. Love you.
Oh, I can't wait for Baby Yoda to have his first fit. Can you imagine a Force fit? Actually, I'm reading Force fits right now on Twitter.
Really?
People aren't happy. It's Star Wars. No one's ever going to be happy completely.
Well, it's like
It's
your
all
dad
good.
said to you yesterday, right?
Yes. Just to put it all into perspective, my father called me because he's been forced to listen for 40 years. And he's like, so am I hearing the news right? Did that Star Wars movie come out? And I was like, yes, Dad. And he's like, okay, I thought so. There's something like the Mandy jumper or Mandy something. And I'm like, the Mandalorian. He's like, yeah, I'm just confused. I'm like, there's probably a lot of people out there confused because we've never had a Star Wars TV show. And now we have two things going at the same time. Anyways, I said, yes, it's coming out and apparently has lots of mixed reviews. And I was trying to talk to him about Twitter, but I don't think he really knows what Twitter is. And then he said, haven't they all had mixed reviews?
Very true.
Very true. So it is what it is. We did one review of the show, the movie right after we saw it. And so we're going to talk a little bit about where we are now a few days later and after it has all settled. And then when we do part 2, Thomas.
Yes, Brian.
I want to read some of the things I've been seeing on Twitter and get your response. And I'm going to say, have sensitivity to some of it. And really, honestly, I want to have a discussion about it because I find it curious. There's a lot of stuff that I'm not saying, and I would like to go, okay, where are these people coming from? I don't agree, but I'm wondering where they're coming from, and maybe there was a problem for them. Not for me, but for them. Okay. I said it in the last review. I think I will have an inability to ever look at this movie as a movie because of the experience I shared with my boys. And I think forever it will just be that moment. And it was a really, really wonderful moment. And it makes me happy to cry when I think about it. So,
I'm happy for you.
And it's the end.
That's great.
Yeah, it's the end. It means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that means a lot more to me than other people, or I don't really care when you hopped into the fandom. If you love Star Wars, you love Star Wars, and you have
or
every right
if you're forced to listen to them.
Or if you're forced to listen. I'm sure you're happy that I'm happy.
Hey, happy hubby, happy bubby. Is that that's what you say, right?
Yes. Honestly, it was great. So you've been away from it.
Yes, I have.
For a few days. We're really just jumping in. I'm telling you, I'm really excited about Star Wars. I was a little worried because of how much I love The Mandalorian, that it was going to overshadow The Rise of Skywalker. a little bit, but
I don't feel like it did at all.
well, I can tell you, I haven't thought about The Mandalorian, and The Mandalorian's really great.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave me Baby Yoda, who I quite like. He is really cute, but I also think there's a lot of things there. And there's something that's happened in The Mandalorian that I haven't heard anything about. And all of a sudden you hop on Twitter and people have lots of problems with something. And I'm just, it's an interesting...
Oh, the Twitter.
Yeah, it's an interesting, like, why? Why? That's it. So anyways, it's been a few days since you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Some days today. So
Happy someday.
let's talk about your thoughts on The Rise of Skywalker.
Again, I think it was really good. It gave me everything as somebody who's forced to listen to others, everything that I was looking for. Number one, my husband is happy. So that's good because you don't understand. This could have went the other way. It could have been real bad. And let's see, it's someday. So your week of Brian is come to the end at the end of today because he has been acting as if though this was his birthday week. Yeah.
This was better than the birthday week.
Yeah, exactly. See? No, I honestly I thought it was a really good movie. I personally, I don't ever remember talking about her, Rey being a Palpatine, because again, it goes in one ear and out the other.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a fantastic ending. I liked how it all went down. I was impressed by her, by her character in the movie. I thought it was great. There was only one thing, like I said, that kind of dipped down a tiny bit. Well, two things. I thought it got a little slow like a half an hour in for a tiny bit.
Okay.
Just because, and it was correlated right around that time where I was shocked at the lack of focus for Chewie passing away.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't surprised when he didn't really pass away.
Yeah, because you're like,
so.
he didn't get a moment.
Right. Hey, should we say the whole spoiler alert thing? Hey, don't listen to this if you haven't seen the movie, clearly.
Yes.
So,
honestly, any Pink Milk show. It says right in there we're talking about The Rise of Skywalker.
So hey, we don't want to spoil it for you, but there you go.
I'll
Boom.
put spoilers in the
He's not dead.
in the show title.
Okay,
too.
yeah, because I don't want to do that to
yeah.
somebody.
So
that there was that. Let me see what else. I truthfully, I thought it was a good. I liked how Ben, the whole plot line between Ben and Han Solo was resurrected and settled, and closed peacefully. Because I didn't like that Ben had killed his. I'm sorry, Kylo Ren had killed his father. Because really, in this movie, I was able to separate the two people, and he was one of my favorite characters.
Yep.
So, and I liked that he came around in the end to be Ben. And there was a connection because we've never, ever seen Ben ever in the two movies or three movies really, with what's her name, Princess Leia.
Yeah,
ever we've never seen them in the same screen.
No.
The same scene.
Now, yeah, I wonder had Carrie Fisher not died, would we have seen that in this? But here's the thing with art.
I think we would have seen a completely different movie if she was alive.
And one thing that I don't feel I hear enough of. I hear a lot of things that there was no plan. This movie proves that there was no plan and all this stuff. Which I don't. You and I said it once. I don't think you buy something for $4 billion and then not have a plan. I just think that's, like, honestly, I think it's a ludicrous line of thinking from people who I was going to say who've never created anything before, but that's not fair. That's like a huge blanket statement.
Well,
However,
I think they had an outline.
yeah,
I do.
Yeah, I think Rey was a Palpatine from the very beginning. They all knew it. I think Rian Johnson knew it. I think that all this stuff about red everywhere in Snoke's chamber was foreshadowing that he was really the Sith, even though he said he wasn't the Sith, but the Sith were controlling everything. Palpatine was the ultimate puppet master, and I really strongly feel when I go watch The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi now, there'll be clues dropped in to all of it because so there's some stuff I want to talk about with that because I don't agree with a lot of the things I am on Twitter, and I do know that there are a few people who, quite honestly, listen to their podcasts or read their Twitters that I actually have a lot of respect for because they can articulate things well and they don't get mad about things that felt very different about this movie than I do. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy the discourse of different opinions. I think it enriches the story, and I think a great story causes a lot of discourse. For me, that's what Star Wars has always done, is always given a lot of talk, because I think it matters. And I completely got myself sidetracked with what I was going to say. Oh, Leia, the plan, lack of a plan. I think there's not enough respect on the interwebs about art. Art doesn't have a plan. You sometimes, as an artist, as a filmmaker, as a writer, as an actor, as a cinematographer, as an editor, they make decisions in the moment, and that's where the real beauty comes in. If everything was laid out exactly, there would be we wouldn't have one of the most iconic lines in all of Star Wars, the "I love you, I know." That was an improv thing, was not in the script, and it defined that character for the next 40 years. Art needs to be loose. That's how I feel, and I don't think there's much discussion about that. He was editing it until the very end. Good. You should edit it to the very end. We were watching Project Runway yesterday for a hot minute, and there was a character who had enough time to finish their dress, and there was Christian Siriano. You're not done. If you still have time, tweak, because people will rip it to shreds. That's exactly what's going on here. So, you work to the very last second. But yeah, okay. You also mentioned to me how much you liked her power.
Yeah, no, she was all the way in. In the other one, not that she wasn't all the way in. I mean, she did her job.
You're talking about Daisy Ridley.
Yeah,
now.
Daisy Ridley.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked her power. I liked the Force lightning. Is that what they called it? Okay. And I like that I like the anger. And I never really remember seeing anger in her in the other episodes. But again, in one ear, out the other.
Okay.
So, but I was impressed with her.
It's always been there.
Yeah, I know, but it's,
Another
she was really, really good in this.
So was Adam Driver. The fact that you bought Ben and Kylo are two different people is because that dude changed.
But I never saw him like that in the other two episodes, I will say.
But because you never saw Ben Solo.
Right.
But Ben Solo was a different character than Kylo Ren.
Yes,
it was pretty amazing. And someone pointed out, and I'm going to look for it today, because it was something that they didn't particularly like. I find it interesting. I personally find it very powerful if this is truly the case. And like I said, I'll look for it when I see it here in about an hour. That Ben Solo, his last line was to Han when he throws the lightsaber, whatever the line is right before he throws the lightsaber off of the Death Star. And then we see him, he and Rey team up and they do all those things, and he never has a line of dialogue again. For like the last third of the movie, he has no lines.
I didn't even notice.
I didn't either. So I'm going to look for it.
Okay.
I think that's pretty powerful, though.
Absolutely.
Because that's just action. And, I think the last third of this movie is really quite amazing, actually. I love how they team up, and they teamed up because they should, not because they needed to, but because they both had a personal reason to go after him, which is pretty great. And the other thing that I will probably love the most out of this movie is we got Ahsoka Tano in film, and I'm very excited. She's one of the ones that is now with Rey.
But not a lot of people would know that. Only you would.
Yeah, because it didn't add
her voice.
It didn't add something. You didn't need that information. Someone like you just heard a bunch of Jedi voices saying, "I'm with you." But for us, it was there, and it was pretty great because Rey and Ahsoka have a lot in common. So, did you have a favorite part of the movie?
Yeah, when the Force lightning was done the first time from
That's pretty
Rey,
shocking.
Definitely that part.
No. Did you get it?
No, I just wow, that's pretty great.
No. What did you just say?
Force lightning.
I said it's pretty shocking.
Oh, I wasn't even listening.
Oh, Come on.
That was good. Ba-dum-bum. And what was the other part? I mean, clearly, I liked the scene between Han and Kylo Ren / Ben. And then I liked at the end, I liked the kiss, what it represented, because it represented the end of Ben's life and Princess Leia's life.
Yep.
And how they just were reduced to their cloaks.
Yep. Yeah. I know some people apparently think it's funny, and I think Star Wars, one of the things I like, one of the things that I love about Star Wars, and I think is what makes it timeless, is Star Wars doesn't really follow the current trends. Was him kissing her and then falling down and fading away a little corny? 1,000%. But all of Star Wars is corny.
I was going to say.
Like, people slammed that with Rose and Finn. I mean, people didn't like Rose Tico, and honestly, they took it too far and attacked her as a person.
Oh.
I like what Rose Tico...
It's funny because I don't like Finn.
Yeah.
I think he's like unnecessary.
I'm curious if you still think so.
I do.
Okay.
I mean, he was necessary in the, number 7.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit more in 8, but I didn't feel like we even needed him in this one. I just don't like the character.
No, you don't. I'm not sure. I don't think you ever have.
Nope.
And then I think Michael, our guest from that episode from the I'm Right, You're Wrong podcast, really cemented it for you because you've been holding on to that ever since.
Oh, he's been bagging on this.
No, you have. Ever since you heard it out of him, you've been like...
I knew I didn't like him.
Yeah, I just think it... But I think right down to when Princess Leia kisses Luke Skywalker on the cheek before they leap over the hole where the bridge wouldn't open. I'm like, it's corny. And that Star Wars needs to be corny. And I love that it stays true to itself. No matter what generation it is released in, no matter what generation it's for, it never loses sight of that wee bit over the topness.
Which is okay.
I love it. That's what Star Wars is.
Absolutely.
Rogue One didn't have as much of that.
I mean, think back to the very beginning. The very first... I'm sorry. Number 4. Yeah. Star Wars. What was that one called again?
A New Hope. That's what I'm talking about.
You got this guy in this big black mask and this weird cape walking through. Yeah.
It's over the top.
It's over the top. It's okay.
So the biggest question for me in this movie, and I'm curious how you feel, is... Excuse me. Palpatine's back.
Yeah?
How?
Who cares?
There you go.
I mean, who cares?
So
He probably never went away.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out somehow, some way in a book or a comic or a video game or something. We will find the answer. But there was a part of me at the beginning, as I was watching it the first time, going, well, how did he come back?
Well, all right. So hang on a second. He's been hooked up to these machines. We saw it.
But how did he get there?
He never was released from a machine. So I don't know. Maybe all those people sitting in the arena, the other Sith,
I'm
ghosts
curious
or goblins, whatever you want to call them.
I don't know what they were. So I thought they were all the... Okay, hang on.
Okay.
We'll go there. But how did he get there? Because we saw him throwing down the shaft of the Death Star, and then the Death Star blew up.
Maybe they were waiting for him at the end.
Maybe. But then I tell myself, and one of the other things that I think I love the most about Star Wars is Star Wars embraces headcanon. And it doesn't... I'm like, I need to know. And then I literally had to tell myself, but when has Star Wars ever answered anything? They don't really... They gloss over a lot. Star Wars does not paint in detail. The sets... And that's one of my personal things of the sequel trilogy that are not my favorite, is it's not as dense. Like the screen is just not as dense. That's one of the things I love about Rogue One, is it's just very dense. And that felt very Star Wars to me. George Lucas puts a lot of things everywhere. And these have big, sweeping, beautiful landscapes and all that. And it's beautiful, but there isn't like a weird alien running around on the ground over there. There isn't an alien grabbing this thing and then burping. There isn't something up in the other corner that's just this constant feast for my eyes that 40 years after watching Star Wars, I can still see something new that I've never noticed before because it's cleaner now or whatever it is. These movies haven't offered that. And that is one of my critiques of them as a whole. But again, it's a minor detail that doesn't take away anything from the story. It's just a visual choice.
I can see why people need to know the answers to those things. And maybe if I was that in-depth super fan, I would feel the same way.
Yeah.
And maybe it is ruined for them for not having those answers. However, someone like myself, God bless you. He's going to sneeze. And you didn't even sneeze. All right. It looked like you were going to sneeze. But for somebody like myself, I mean, it didn't take away not having the answer to that and maybe some of these other small things. It didn't take away from the entire movie. So
yeah, I mean, really, it didn't. It didn't. He was cool. We got like a zombie in Star Wars. It was pretty... it was creepy. I know it freaked Michael out a few times, and it was pretty scary, actually.
He always gets a little freaked out at Star
Yeah.
Wars. So. In the movie theater, not at home.
Yeah, Star Wars is scary. I mean, it used to scare me too.
Me too.
I'm trying to think what... C-3PO was back. That made me really, really happy. I missed him. I love that character. And
That was a good tease on their part, though. We all thought that maybe he would be...
Yeah.
It led me to think that maybe they would all be,
Yeah.
killed off.
I do wish at the end that C-3PO and R2 were there with Rey. Back at the Lars homestead. That's something I wish for. But
that was the old time.
But that was the old times. Yeah. And that would have played up to... That would have been too nostalgic, maybe. So, this movie... I'm having so actually I'm going to record another podcast tonight with the I'm Right, You're Wrong people. Mm-hmm. And I have no idea what their thoughts are on it. So I'm kind of looking forward to just going in cold.
They could be right and you could be wrong.
Oh no, I'm always right. So
they're going to be wrong.
We know that's
they're not listening.
I'm curious to hear from them because I don't think I can objectively watch this movie. I just can't. I can't. I love Rey, and we're gonna get this part of the show wrapped up here soon, actually, because I have to go see it for
the third time.
But I do. There's a few things people don't like the end. That's what I want to get into with you, actually.
Okay.
Because I have a very different take. And it's what I walked away with. I want to go watch it the third time knowing what this other perspective is, and I'm curious if I can see where they're coming from without having a conversation with someone. But I love that she took the name Skywalker. What about you? What do you think of that?
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it does matter to me. I thought it was very nice. I thought it was very touching. I thought it was a tribute. Yeah. I guess maybe she felt she had we know she felt she had no parents, but they were out there somewhere. Maybe she just felt, hey, I got the most direction in my life from Leia and Luke. I'd less believe that, though, statement with Luke because what?
They had maybe a day together?
A couple days, maybe, collectively in all the movies,
Yeah.
So,
but I would imagine all of us have met someone in our life that had profound impact. And maybe from an outside source, just looking in, you're like, how did that person? They barely even knew you.
Right.
So sometimes you just meet that person that there's something there.
Absolutely.
And she did look up to him her whole life. Clearly, I thought he was just a myth. That's what she said. There was admiration there, and she got to meet her hero. As short-lived as it was or wasn't, he turned out to be who she thought he was or wasn't. I'm sure that moment had a deep and profound impact on who she was as a person. And I don't think time can define that. I have been pretty open and honest, even on this podcast, about Rey's representation of childhood trauma And being without parents and being raised, honestly, in a way, not directly, but she was in the foster system. I mean, she was taken over. She was taken by Ankar Plot, who treated her like absolute trash and didn't take care of her. And honestly, we have children in this house who were taken and then supposed to have been helped by people who were supposed to help them that did not do them well. And that's just the reality of our life. And what I love about Rey is she is the first character in a Star Wars saga that had their own agency. And I think that means so much, that Anakin was the chosen one. His entire life, he was under the stress of being told he was the chosen one. He was supposed to bring balance. He was supposed to do this. And that burden, I think, and that pressure is what made him so selfish. And he needed to control something because he had no control, because he was the chosen one. He was told what to do. And quite frankly, he let that destiny take him over. The Jedi manipulated it and tried to control him with it. Palpatine took it and tried to control him because of his alleged destiny of who he was supposed to be. And then we saw what happened to him. Luke let his father, and the mystery of Obi-Wan is the one who introduced him, of it is your destiny to save your father. And that drove all of his actions. And honestly, I think that pressure let him dock too. Fear kept him on Tatooine because Luke was afraid of not knowing what was coming. He was so busy looking into the future that he was afraid to get there, I guess. You know, like he just never, he listened to everyone. Everyone else told Luke what to do until that very last moment. And that's just the way it is. And he thought his destiny would lead him everywhere he went. Well, Rey's destiny was to become the Empress. And she said no. She made her own choices everywhere. That's what I said when she's so powerful and people had a problem with her being powerful. It's because she didn't try. She did it. Mm-hmm. She did everything. And then she stood up to her oppressor, basically. I mean, he's the one who killed her parents, or instructed someone to kill her parents, took everything away. He's the one who destined her to be the Empress. And she said no. Like, we have never had a character say no. Luke, sure, he threw his lightsaber and said, I will not kill my father. But he was still obsessed with his father. She did something for herself. And not herself in a selfish way, herself to save everything. And honestly, like, that is like so incredibly powerful. And what an amazing, we had one character who did everything for themselves and took the entire galaxy down. The other two heroes that we've had so far did what they were told. And now we had someone who, on the light side, chose what to do. And of course, that choice is what brought balance to everything, because choice is what means something. Not being told what to do. And honestly, as a father of kids who, you know, a lot of, you know, they're going to break the cycle of what their family had they stayed. You know, who knows where people end up when they're not given any sort of opportunity unless they go take it. And I love that she stood up to an abuser and said no. It was, honestly, it was so amazing. It was so powerful. And then to see her at the end choosing a last name. And yes, it's a Skywalker. But that's what the saga is about. So it's not, she's just going to pick Johnson and have it mean anything. Like, I'm sorry, that's like a part of telling a story.
Absolutely.
And it isn't about the name Skywalker. It's more about her choosing of who she wants to be. And she wanted to carry on a legacy that means something across the entire galaxy. And now she can bring light to the entire galaxy. And there's also something that her lightsaber is white, yellow, or orange, or whatever it was. It's not green, blue, or purple. Not red. She is something new, and she's going to choose what to be, because there isn't going, like, it is so profoundly exciting to me. And after watching this, I've always loved Rey anyways. Give me a few more years with these movies, and she may very well be my very favorite Star Wars character because of the choices and the actions made in this movie. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I loved it. And I can't wait for my children to be able to look up to her.
Awesome. I like it. Sounds good.
Yeah. So we're going to come back, and I'm going to read some Twitter thoughts, and I would like my husband's sometimes not so gentle
This should be good.
responses to things, because, hey,
Bring it on.
yeah, some of this is very heavy. And if he says something or we say something, it's in love and in humor.
And it's a movie.
There you go.
There you go. A good movie, no less.
Hello, Pop Pop. Welcome back.
Welcome back to you.
Did you miss me?
Yeah. Of course.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Hey, I went to Petco with a 2-year-old boxer, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 10-year-old, and
And a whole lot
and
of
everybody
complaining.
else in that time that you were away. So that kind of took it all out. Not to mention, I bought a bag of dog food that was at least 50 pounds that I had to carry out.
Did you do squats and lunges, though? with
No,
it?
I didn't, but I was about to throw children across the parking lot. And not my own. Just kidding.
Oh.
Just kidding. Yeah, anyway, that kind of took me out. I'm glad it was only one store because it really took it out of me.
Okay, well, I'm going to throw you back into it.
Here we go.
I just saw The Rise of Skywalker for the third time.
That's right, folks. The third time. And I was in Petco.
Hashtag priorities.
Yep.
I have to say, it was my favorite viewing. I had the worst seat. I was kind of stuck on the side because there was a family and one of them took my seat. I was like, you can keep it. It's fine.
That was very nice. Of
You know, they wanted to be together. I looked like grandparents and they couldn't get all their seats together. So anyways,
Even though they violated the rules
they did.
and didn't make a reservation.
It was my third viewing. I would feel a little wrong saying, no, you will not sit with your family. I will sit in between them. I have spoken. So, anyways, it was not. I really have to say, heart emoji this movie, like so much. So, I am a little like thrown off by Twitter. What Twitter is telling me, that is a different kind of cord. Someone's trying to put the wrong plug into the wrong hole. I'm in trouble. Anyways, I'm very surprised at what I'm seeing on Twitter. So for this second half, Tom,
Yes.
I want your reactions to what some of these things folks are saying. And I will preface it with, let's just make sure that we are sensitive in the way in which we respond to one of the things in particular.
Okay.
Because though we may not agree, doesn't make someone else not valid. That's all. So,
Well
first,
said.
I want to
Hope
go.
I can adhere to it, but well said.
Let's see. First, there's been a lot of talk of too much exposition at the beginning, which I'm not sure I'm totally saying. So I can't even really comment to that. But it seems very rushed at the beginning. And seems to, and again, this is Twitter. This is some of the stuff I'm reading. The beginning is very rushed, and tries to dismiss a lot of virtually everything that they set up in the Last Jedi. Because
Interesting.
Twitter is trying to create the narrative that Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams do not like each other, and they just tried to ruin each other's movies.
Huh. So what's the question then? Because I've got
do
two
you
things
do
there.
you feel that
Number one, who cares about Ryan Johnson and J.J. Abrams? Who cares? I dismissed that whole part of it.
Okay, boom.
But with regards to, and it doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means that I'm not addressing it. Okay. There we go. Was that sensitive politically?
Yes,
Okay.
Let's keep it in the movies then.
All right, yeah,
do you
let's keep it
feel
in the
that the
movie.
Rise of Skywalker discredits what happened in The Last Jedi?
No, I didn't pick up on that.
Okay.
However, what you really said was that the Twitter,
Yes.
Twitter twats, whatever, I don't know what they are, are
Did
they
you
said
not mean to say that word?
I was
I certainly hope you didn't mean to say that.
me. Yeah,
Especially
no.
when I just got the look for what I said.
I mean, I was trying to figure out what they were. Sorry, President Trump. Okay.
Oh, boy.
All right. Remember I said there was a bit of a lull there?
Yes.
I think that we might have been talking about the same thing. They were saying it was rushed, and I was saying it was a bit of a lull. I felt a little
Yeah, you mentioned the lull.
Disconnect.
Like, what lull? Like,
I don't know. I just remember
okay.
it kind of going down a little bit. There were all these people running around and this happening and that happening. And it was like, I don't know. It didn't seem cohesive to me.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't see it 3 times like you, so
Yeah.
I can't. And it was late at night.
Yeah.
It's 6:30.
No, it is. There was some different kinds of shots. I personally really liked it because it made it feel like
the first time or the third time?
every time.
Okay.
It's a big adventure, and there's a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot happening at the same time, which I liked. I don't know. I like faster and more intense. That was George Lucas's. Every time there was a cut, that was his critique. Faster and more intense. So that's what it felt like. I don't see, and I'm looking forward to speaking with people that don't feel this way, because I'm looking forward to hearing another perspective, another point of view that I don't possess.
Right.
Just because I enjoy that kind of thing. I feel like the Force timing when Rey and Kylo see each other, and the Force projection and Princess Leia using the Force were the 3 super ticked offnesses of The Last Jedi, and Cranky Luke. Actually, Cranky Luke. So, one, I feel like the fact that Rey and Kylo are now dueling through the Force, grabbing necklaces off of each other, and then passing off lightsabers to each other through Force timing is just not ignoring remotely what The Last Jedi did, but going, holy cow, they've grown even more into this. We got to see Leia training, which was pretty cool. And honestly, it was really nice seeing young Carrie Fisher and young Mark Hamill. Excuse me. Even if it was just for a minute, that was pretty neat. And Force projection. Now, this hasn't been confirmed, but the way I read the Han Solo part, I know he said it was a memory, but I believe that it was Leia Force projecting either a memory or Han to speak to her son. Because I think Ben needed to say, I'm sorry, to his father for his greatest sin. And so I think they took what was a very emotional Force projection in The Last Jedi to a whole nother level of a mother giving her child his dead father so he can have his confession. And that was the last line. There was one ow, which I wish wasn't there, because honestly, the last word was dad, and then he said, I'm sorry. He didn't say it out loud, and Han was like, I know. And I think that is the most beautiful last word for that character. He spent the whole time of Force Awakens trying to combat the dark or the light. And they needed to kill his father because he was convinced that would make him dark. And then that's haunted him all through The Last Jedi, killing his father, through all of this. And he finally got to say, I'm sorry. And his father forgave him. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. That's a beautiful ending to that to Kylo Ren's arc. And then we got a minute with Ben. So I think that was a forced projection, personally.
Okay.
Did you think about any of those things?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
I enjoyed the movie.
Okay.
I enjoyed the moment for what it was.
Anyways, I think it's beautiful. And Carrie, Princess Leia, holds her son all the way through to make sure he does the right thing. I felt like her arms were around him the whole time saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, and you can do the right thing, you can do the right thing, until his last breath. And then they both went together, and oh my God, it's so beautiful.
And that was great.
Like,
that was very beautiful.
Beautiful. So, Kylo Ren, Ben Solo is your favorite character of all of Star Wars.
Yeah, I liked
And
him.
you said it got to you a little bit when he died.
Yeah.
Are you okay that he died? Because that's another thing on Twitter that people are very, very, very upset that he died. And they do not feel it was fair. It's hashtag Ben Solo deserved better.
No. I was fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was... Yeah, no, I was fine with it. It was actually very nice that both him and his mother, although she had passed away already, but they disappeared at the same time, and I think I addressed that earlier and also on the other podcast we did about it when we got home on Thursday night. Yep.
So,
but yeah, no. I'm sorry, I'm not jumping on that. Again, they're not wrong. That's their opinion, and we appreciate it.
I don't think it would have been fair if he had lived. He killed his father.
Right.
I don't think you get to and he caused a lot of chaos and destruction throughout the entire galaxy. But as far as we're concerned, the audience in that story, he killed his father. He doesn't deserve to live.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have ended the whole thing. They'd still be there, and they could go on. So it ended everything.
Yeah,
I
feel he died because he deserved to after what he did. But he did redeem himself, and he got to fade away. Had he gone dark, he would have died and wouldn't have disappeared because bad guys don't get to disappear and they don't get to go on in the afterlife. And honestly, now he gets to spend the rest of his life with Rey. She's not alone. Good people never die in Star Wars because you can come back as a bluey ghost, the Jedi. And so he's not gone. He's just gone.
Well, you're speaking as if though we're gonna have more movies of this.
No, but even if we don't, those characters. See, this is how I watch. I don't think it's done just because the movie's over. Even if we never see Rey again, her story still goes on, and she has a life outside of the movie. And I think about those things, and that's the myth, that's the legend. And had he not gone good and just died, that would have been unfair to Ben. But I don't think it would have been fair to Han that he got to live. Personally.
So that was on the Twitters?
Yeah, people are very upset that Ben died.
Okay. Sorry.
And then I noticed, I didn't notice it the first time. Remember the scar across his face that Rey gave him at the end of The Force Awakens when she cut his face?
Yes.
And she heals his wound. Mm-hmm. And when she healed him, she healed everything. And because when Kylo Ren died, she saved Ben Solo. Because Kylo Ren killed Ben Solo. So she saved Ben Solo.
Right.
She killed Kylo and saved Ben. It's so beautiful. But as he turned to look at her in that moment, his scar that she gave him faded away too. It was just...
Oh, God, I didn't even notice.
It was really like a really small detail that was really very beautiful. And then the final one, and this is what I want to end on, because I have a very, very different take than what I've been reading a lot of. And let me just say what it is and then say what the criticism is. And this is where I want it to be. We have to be sensitive because we're a marginalized people as gay people, and we've been mistreated before. and underrepresented. So I understand the want for representation. So there's a lot of people on the Twitters very upset that that she took the name Skywalker. And that she's the granddaughter of Palpatine. Because Twitter is feeling like she's only something because she's related to men now. And that it diminished her power as a woman. And by taking Skywalker, taking a name from a man, is what gave her validation instead of just being able to stand on her own as a woman.
Huh. Okay.
Which is a serious debate. Like, I understand. I have a very, very, very different take.
Isn't Kathleen Kennedy a woman?
Yeah, but she didn't write it.
I mean, she had something to do with it, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I mean, maybe these people should go write their own story. I don't know.
Maybe they
I mean,
are.
I see what they're saying. You know, it's politically correct. Everybody jumped on the horse. I got it. Okay. But, I mean...
You know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I didn't write this story. They didn't write this story. Why should they have something to say? I mean, you know, it was about the Skywalkers the entire time.
Uh-huh.
From the beginning to the end. So...
This was the...
I mean, I guess I have to put some thought into it. I certainly don't insult anyone. I do understand.
This saga is about the Skywalkers. I think this saga is about the Skywalkers.
So they took something beautiful, and now they...
I think it's beautiful.
Okay.
And I personally... I'm more of an outspoken person than you are in general.
Right.
And not that I have any real Twitter influence, but I stand by that choice for a whole host of reasons. One, as queer people, my growing up never thinking I would really be allowed to take someone's name. Mm-hmm. And no, does every person have to choose their partner's last name when they get married? No. But it wasn't even an option for me. Mm-hmm. We were never going to be allowed to be married, and I could never really take your name. I mean, you could go through and paperwork and all that, but it wouldn't have been the same thing. Mm-hmm. And so I took your name, didn't demasculate me, didn't do anything because I don't think it's a masculine versus feminine thing necessarily.
Right.
But I took your name out of a big sense of pride because I was made to feel less than and made to feel like a no one for a long time by our government. And then they got their stuff together and we had the right. So I think there's so much power in taking a last name, in choosing that for yourself, because Rey never felt she deserved anything. She was alone.
Right.
And there's the line in the thing. And someone said, I would love to know your family name. And she's like, I don't have one. It's just Rey. And she chose it. And I just think there's a lot of power there.
Maybe that whole ending was a little unnecessary now that I think about it.
See,
I mean, I thought it was great. I enjoyed it, but I wonder what they were trying to do. You know, what were they trying to stir up?
I think, and then this is the other one, and this is the side for me that it's even more important. And the fact, I know a lot of people, and I was one of them, you know, I've gone through all of it. I thought maybe she was a Palpatine, then I thought maybe she was the son of Vader and Anakin. I also have been on, she doesn't need to be anyone, and I don't think she needed to be anyone to be someone. But I think there's this whole layer, and why I think the ending is so powerful is because the whole idea of adoption has never, ever really been addressed in Star Wars. All the Jedi were taken from their families and then placed into an institution that didn't even really treat them as individuals. They weren't even treated as people. They were treated as something more, and they couldn't be themselves. They had to be something for everyone. So they took all of them, their own self-worth away because they were now everyone's. Luke and Leia were adopted, but they never really addressed it. We knew it, but it never went anywhere. And I think this sequel trilogy has been so much about the trauma of being taken away or abandoned and really focused on the found family. And I think that was one of the things I love, that they weren't all together until this very end, because they really found each other and they did create a family together. And I think for our greatest hero, as far in the Skywalker saga, she's the greatest hero. She had her own agency. She made all the choices herself. She's the first one to do that. I've said that probably a few times in this very episode. But to find out that you're related to the galaxy's biggest evil, and then choose to look at him and say, no. You want me to hate you, but I will not hate you. And as parents of 3 kids from foster care, I know people's intentions are always well, but I think there's this idea that our children hate their parents, and we should hate their parents for the things that our kids had to go through. Their biological parents, I'm speaking of specifically. The blood. Which this film and the last one, another respect that this movie paid to The Last Jedi, was this idea that the villains think blood is what matters. And that's what matters. Not family, but it's who you're born to, not who you found yourself with, but who you're born to. And the heroes understood that that doesn't matter. And here's this character who was a no one. And it's from my perspective, and I don't know these stories that I'm reading on Twitter, but it's from a place of privilege to be able to say, she should be a no one. Well, that's because those people, I personally believe, if you're really going to say that, have never been a no one. I think we have 3 kids who have at points in their lives felt like no ones. And I've seen them choose a last name. One of them did it super excited, and one of them was a little more reluctant. And he had to work in his emotions to get to that point. And I've seen, and the other one's taken it just fine too, and I've seen how they have all changed once their names legally became ours. And I think making her a someone, but choosing to be more than what her blood was, is so much more powerful than she just not being a nobody, than her just being a nobody.
Right.
I think that gives a voice to a lot of people out there who have to carry, and honestly, I've had to do that. You know, in my own personal life, I don't know who, I've talked about that, not knowing my biological father and not knowing where all the blood comes from. And I had to learn real quick that it wasn't about that. My father is my father. Has nothing to do with the blood running in my veins. You know, I think it's really powerful. And picking the name Solo or Organa wouldn't work for this trilogy because it's the Skywalker trilogy.
Maybe it was just as simple as, well, hey, I don't want to pick the one I know I'm from. The only other one we all know is the other one. Yeah, maybe it was just as simple as that.
Because
maybe it didn't have to be a controversy.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, but from the character's perspective, why would she want to be a Palpatine?
Of course.
He's nothing but evil.
Sense. Yeah, I mean,
she wanted to get away from it.
Perfect sense. And she never was before.
No.
So she never thought of herself that way.
But I also think it's very powerful for a granddaughter in this case. And let's just go with parentage. Like, let's just skip a generation. But for a child who went through everything they went through because of that person, to be able to say, I don't hate you, sends a really, really powerful message. Because I hope that my children don't grow up hating their biological parents.
I hope.
I don't want that for them.
No, they won't.
You know, I don't want that for them. I don't want that. It's not the right path, you know? I don't know what their future holds with that, but I don't want that to be the future. So I don't know. I really appreciate, I just think it gives a voice to our kids. Mm-hmm. And so I'm very, you know, it's really good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So maybe you're right. Maybe they didn't need that.
Well, I mean,
we could have avoided controversy.
What I meant is maybe they didn't need that character asking that old lady who appeared out of nowhere because why would she randomly be there anyway, right?
Well, she was, yeah.
I mean, we needed that scene because it paralleled the end of the first one.
Yeah.
Or number 6.
Yeah.
4?
4.
So.
And the end of number 3.
And the end of number 3. So that was important. I got, but maybe we didn't need that.
You know, I think I like the celebration too, and seeing all the Star Destroyers when the galaxy rose up really harkened back to the end of Return of the Jedi too, and the celebration was pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I really love this movie.
Good.
Like, really loved it. Really loved it. And I need some more years with it, but Rey might end up being my favorite character.
There you go. There you go.
So, thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, dear listeners. Make sure you rate and review us on iTunes. And you can follow us at Pink Milk House. Pink Milk House, Hausy, Thomas.
Because Brian's a fancy guy.
Mm-hmm. And you can see us at pinkmilk.site. And you can write us at pinkmilkhouse@gmail.com. Please send us emails or Twitters with where you stand on the end of the Rise of Skywalker, because it seems to be very divisive, and I would like to hear all perspectives. So, with that, thank you for listening, and until you listen to us again, bye.
Bye.